Um, uh, I am just taking this topic, JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So the applications which we deploy on the Weblogic server, our J2E applications, they need some access to database. So how do we give access to the database to our application? That is through the JDBC API. I will just quickly I will just quickly take you to the environment. First, let you introduce you to the environment. What is the environment here for this training actually, and then here, a quick introduction to this topic. I won't take any long time because again, this is an introductory class here. Kapil, just let me know if I am audible clearly. Just guys, let me know if you can hear me clearly. Can you people hear me?
Yeah, John.
Okay, thank you. So, we will just proceed and let you take to the environment actually. Now here, this training is actually on the Linux environment over here, and I will let you know that how you are going to install this Linux version 5 on your machines. Linux is freely available for the download, and you can always download it and install it on your machine for the learning purpose actually. Now once you get it installed, again Weblogic is also available for free for the learning purpose. You do not need any licenses on Weblogic for learning purposes actually, so you can just get that. Here let me tell you about the environment. So I have got the Weblogic server installed on my machine. I am going to actually start my Weblogic server and let you know about the environment actually. So here first let me get started with my Weblogic server. So I've got installed my Weblogic server on this Linux machine, and it's just getting started at the moment. Well, so here my Weblogic server actually got started. So when it gets started, it gives me a message like server is started in running mode. And I can test that in a web browser window actually. So let me open a web browser window here, and so this is called as the administration console of Weblogic, which administrators use actually for the various administration purposes. So from here, I can look, have a look at my environment. So I clicked on the servers, and then here, whenever you are going to work with WebLogic server, you need to create some domain. A domain is actually an administration unit actually for your WebLogic server. So here there is some administration domain with the name of medrec domain here. And a domain actually comprises of multiple servers. So these servers are actually your WebLogic instances. Here I have got, within my domain, I have got 4 different servers, you can see. And one of these servers is actually called as administration server. Administration server for various administrative tasks. And then we have got the managed servers actually. So I have just got up a domain setup. My domain has got 3 different managed servers. Managed servers are used actually to deploy applications on them, and then administration server is just used for administrative purposes actually. So at the moment you could see that my admin server is actually running. Its health is actually shown as OK over here, and then I will also make my other servers run actually over here. Now, as the topic today, I will just talk about it is JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So I will let my Java EE applications actually access some database. So in this machine, I also have got some database which actually comes when you do the installation of your WebLogic on your machine. So there is a database called as the Derby database. I will just show you where is this database actually. Let me just take it to you to that part actually. So from this point I can actually start a Derby database over here. And this Derby database is a tiny database actually. I could have installed a full-fledged Oracle database that can be done, or you can do the installation of other databases. But since it's come with this product, so I'm using this one, and one can start this Derby database from here by writing start derby.sh actually. So it will start the database server over here, and then I can use some editor actually to create some database, or maybe to edit the tables in an existing database. So here I have just got a tool which I call as IJ tool. This is an editor tool. So let me launch this one here. So I get connected to this editor. On this machine, I actually have got one database installed over here, and at the moment, actually, I will let you get connected to that database actually. So let me show you some script here. How do we get connected to some database actually? So I come to this IJ tool, and we connect to some database with the name of company actually. It says like this. I can use like something create equals to true if my database actually does not exist. So there is a way actually to create the database. But here my database is already existing, so I need not create it. I just say like connect to my some database over here. So let me try and get connected to it. It just takes a few seconds to get connected to some database. It got connected, and this database actually has got a table called as employee details table over here. Here it has got some employee records actually, John's records, Alan's records, and Demp's record actually. So what I need to do at the moment is like I have got some Java EE application which needs to connect to this database actually. This database is like a resource actually, and some application needs to connect to it. How does that actually happens over here? We can look into that. How does that happen actually over here? Let me explain it to you. So I can say like I have got some domain actually over here, and then we have just got a database running over here, as you have seen over here. So this is a database which I am showing on the right. So what we try to do is like on my application server, we create something called as Jndi Resource actually. A Jndi Resource is actually a resource which can be a JDBC resource, or it can be a JMS resource, a number of kind of resource. So what we do is like on this application server, we create a resource actually, and this resource actually is referencing what we say is like a connection pool. Connection pool is about connections to this database actually. So I can show it like there is some connection pool which holds a number of connections to this database over here. And this connection pool is actually represented by some resource. This resource has got a name actually. The name I call as JNDI name over here. So a JNDI name is actually in a form of a tree. We call as a JNDI tree actually here. So let me say like this resource is represented by some name, say like JDBC, and some name like my data source, something over here. So you can see like here, it's an administrator's responsibility actually to create this Jndi resource which has got a Jndi name over here. So I say like, there is a Jndi tree, and then I have got a resource JDBC my data source actually, which is representing some data source. So some application, some client application, here if I say I've got some client application over here, and then this client application needs to actually connect to this database. So what it will do is that it will do a lookup into this JNDI tree actually over here. And then through lookup, it is going to get connected to this database actually. So what I showed it to you at the moment here, because this is a small demo, I will not go in great detail at the moment. It's just a 10-15 minutes demo. Here, what you see over here is like we have just got a database connection over here, and then I have to create a Jndi resource within my application server actually to represent this connection. How can I do that? So I just come over here and then go to my administration console. You can come over here. And then I can actually create some resource over here. So let me go to this one, services over here, and then we have a notion of creating data sources. So we come over here and I say like create a new data source over here. So say generic data source, and then it is asking for the name of the data source. So I say like my Derby data source, some name I can give, and then it needs a JNDI name. A JNDI name is required because the application will do the lookup through this JNDI name. So I give it some name like JDBC dot and then some name, say my Derby or something over here, and then it says like what is the database type. So you saw these database exist in the list. So typically we will use one of these databases. If you have some database other than these database, those also can be used, but you will need a driver for that. My Weblogic server has got the driver for all these popular databases actually, even for the Derby it has got. So I just go to the next one over here, and then here it is asking like the type of the driver. So it is type 4 driver in this case, and then going to the next one over here. So it says like create a new JDBC data source. You say like yes. Go over here. It is asking the database name. So here you saw that my database name is like company over here. Host name is the name of the machine. My machine name is localhost.local domain. For the database access, I may have some username or password. Here I did not set up any username and password at the moment, so I do not require it actually. And here I can test the configuration that if I am successfully connected to the database or not. Here it says like a connection test succeeded, which means like I am actually connected to the database actually over here. And then you can see the connection property, the name of the database, the server name, the port name, all this is there, and then actually I can go to the next. And then here, this JDBC data source is actually targeted to which of these servers. So I say like it is going to get targeted to my managed server, Medrex server 1 over here, because here I will actually deploy my application, and then I come here and I say like finish, and then I activate my changes over here. So here it get created actually over here with the name like my Derby data source. Now I will also show you some application which actually uses the data sources. So here let me actually start my managed server 1 over here. Let me get started with this managed server, Medrex server 1, because here I am going to deploy my application. So what I do is like I need to start actually my managed server. So how the managed server can be actually started? It can be actually started by number of ways. One of the very convenient way to start up my managed servers and stop them is actually to use a node manager over here. I have got set up a node manager on my machine, but I need to start this node manager. So I come over here and then I start my node manager. So let me get started with the node manager. Manager is started, and I can actually manage my the managed servers over here for the start and stop purpose. So I go to the control part. And here I am going to actually start this Medrex server 1. So let me say like getting started. It will just take a minute around for this server to get started actually. So maybe I can wait a minute actually, or one can look at the progress of startup by refreshing this page actually to see that. If the server already gets started or not. So it says like at the moment the state is like is starting over here. So it will just take a little more time. Maybe I can refresh again. Okay, it's still starting. When it will get started, it will show the result like running over here. So need to give it a minute actually. Server startup do take a minute or more. Well, now my server is running. You can see over here. If I want to explore my server, I can go within my server over here. And then within this server, there is this Jndi tree actually. So you can click on the Jndi tree, and then you can have a look at the Jndi tree. So here I created a resource with the name MyDerby. You can see this exists over here, and then some application trying to access to my database can request for this resource with the name JDBC MyDerby over here. So this is the resource actually existing over here. So you saw that what is meant by the Jndi tree, it is existing over here. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to deploy an application. So I go to deployments, and here these many applications are already deployed on one or other managed servers actually in my environment. So let me tell you that I am going to deploy one application called as test data. It is actually already deployed over here. It is showing the status like active. So what this application does is that it tries to actually get connected to my database with the Jndi name and accesses the database actually over here. So it is already running over here. So what I will do is my application is actually already running. It is deployed. So a running deployed application has got this status active. So I try to actually restart it here. So it is showing the status like start running over here. And then just take a moment actually. We can refresh the thing, and then it will be active again actually. So let me go back and then try to. Yes, it is active again now. So it is ready to take the connections here. So what I can do is I can go to my browser and then launch this application. This is a simple application trying to access my database. So let me try to add some employee records over here, say records with ID 4 and then some name, say like Michael or somebody, and then some salary, say like 6,000 or something, and then say like submit. So it says like successfully added, and I can come back over here. So there were previously 3 records over here, and then let me see that if this 4th record actually got added or not got added actually. So I come over here and we see that the Michael's record, which I just tried to add, has actually got added over here by this application over here. So this was my little 10-15, maybe it took a little more, maybe 20 minutes it took, a little more, I think it took like 25 minutes. Anyways, was a little demo in this environment, and then I think Kapil will let you know that what topics we are covering. We have got the details over there in an Excel sheet that what the topics we are covering. Here this training takes you from the basic level to a bit intermediary and up to the level of advanced level actually over here, and the best part is I have got set up it in the Linux environment. That is the environment administrators use generally in the production environment. Uh, Doing this training on a Windows environment is really much simpler actually. But then again, people ask me like, a production environment is like more on Linux, so it's more better to have the training on Linux over here. So that is it. Any questions, if Vishwa, you have for me related to this training over here? Just let